In a secluded house, a girl and her father live with a wolfhound. As she discovers a mysterious cubic object, they are forced to deal with the trauma of the past. The entrance to a residence is opened by a masked man who knows the passcode. Then, another man named Adam makes his way to the kitchen to fetch some food. While he's carrying the food down the hall, the masked man walks behind him. Adam starts to notice that he isn't alone, and when he turns, the man strikes him with a bat. One day, a doctor presents a young woman, Alice, with 3 cylinders of varying widths. The first and the thickest one will be the simplest for her to handle. The second will take her a little longer, and the thinnest is the most difficult. The doctor then shows her the mechanical arm, but she doesn't want her father, Adam, to see her fit it, so he leaves. Rolling up his patient's shirt sleeve, the doctor connects the prosthetic arm to her limb. Alice, however, is embarrassed to look. When it's fitted, she relaxes and follows the physician's instructions to pick up the thickest cylinder. During this, he explains that the device is operated by her thoughts. However, when Alice picks up the object, it doesn't stay put and falls to the ground. Frustrated, she asks to take the device off. The doctor assures her that she'll get used to it quickly if she's patient. Then he leaves to speak with her father. As Adam worries about the psychological effects of the artificial arm on his daughter, the doctor reassures him that she'll adapt to it. When he checks on her, Alice evades him and instead requests to let her mom out. Standing outside her room, she hides the artificial arm out of concern and opens the door. A white wolfhound, whom she refers to as her mother, appears. The dog, Beatrice, smells the prosthetic limb, so Alice shows it to her. Using a speech-generating device on her collar, the wolfhound complains that the device doesn't smell like Alice. The young woman then uses her saliva to leave her scent on the robotic arm so that Beatrice would get used to it. Later, Adam helps Alice operate her mechanical arm. She takes up the first cylinder and sets it down successfully. However, she gives up when she can't pick up the second one. She rejects her father's request to try again, knocks the cylinders off the table, and gets up to take a walk with her mom. However, Adam instructs her to take a seat and corrects her that the dog isn't her mother. Enraged, the teenager expresses that she hates her father. As they walk in the woods, Alice and Beatrice come across a large black metal cube. When she approaches, she discovers that the cube reacts to her touch. It opens a square hole, so Alice reaches her normal hand inside and grabs a handwritten note. The space instantly closes after she pulls her hand out. She checks the message in the note that says they are not to be trusted. The penmanship seems familiar to her, so Alice goes home to check. As she copies the note, she sees that the handwriting is identical to hers. Wanting to tell her dad, she wonders where he is. Later that day, Adam discovers 2 young strangers in the woods and takes them to the house. The brutally wounded teenager is Erica, and her younger brother is Paul. Adam calls for Alice as he makes his way to a small pool to tend to Erica's wounds. Hearing him, Alice goes to see her father but hesitates when she sees Paul and hears Erica groaning in pain. After her wounds are treated, Erica informs the rescuers that her brother can't speak, and Alice realizes that Paul is mute. Erica is taken aback when Alice introduces her family, which includes Beatrice as her mother. When Adam asks Erica for details, she tells them her boyfriend, David, attacked her in the woods. They had gone there for a picnic without Paul, and when they were having an intimate moment, Paul followed them. Seeing her brother, she asked David to stop, but he beat her instead. Erica admits that she and Paul are orphans and that they reside in town, but she doesn't know David's address. Pitying them, Adam invites them to spend the night and he'll take them home the next day. He promises that the house is secure and the doors can only be opened from the inside. As they settle in, Erica reassures her younger brother that everything will be alright and asks him not to worry about David. She also asks if Paul likes Alice, but then Beatrice shows up at the door checking on them. When Erica inquires about Alice's arm, Beatrice just remarks that the young woman is wearing her dress. Annoyed that her question wasn't addressed, Erica shoves the dog out of the room. Beatrice then confides in Alice that the siblings are suspicious, and the girl shares her concern. When Beatrice sees something outside, Alice sees it too, and the former instructs the young woman to alert Adam so he can protect them. After Alice tells him about it, Adam seizes a kitchen knife out of caution. When Alice tells him to look outside, she realizes the dark figure isn't there anymore. To their surprise, Erica and Paul arrive as they're alarmed too. Adam assures them not to worry, though Erica is unconvinced. The next day, Alice allows her dad to attach the mechanical arm to her limb. She then tells him that since he likes Erica, both siblings can stay for one more day, which he considers. Later, Paul sets up the cylinders and Alice tries picking them up. When she succeeds with the first, Paul smiles, but when she fails with the second one, she storms off. However, Paul grabs her hand and guides her with the second cylinder, not scared of her robotic arm. As they proceed with the third, it's difficult for Alice to grasp and she becomes upset. Paul rushes to hug her. At first, she appreciates the embrace, but then she breaks it off, suspecting that Erica is with Adam. When she enters her father's room, she discovers him caressing Erica's face. This upsets Alice and she confronts Adam for flirting with Erica in front of Beatrice. Her father insists the dog isn't her mother, but Alice believes her father changed her real mother into a wolfhound, similar to how he changed her with a mechanical limb. Seeing his daughter still in mourning, Adam apologizes, but she's certain that she and her mother are just different because of what he did. To correct her beliefs, Adam reminds her that he killed her mother. This makes Alice cry as she insists that Beatrice is alive, so she demands him to apologize to her mother. When he refuses, she calls him a murderer. Hearing this, Adam angrily takes her by the face and yells that he won't apologize to the dog, then rushes off. As she and Beatrice hurry outside, Paul observes the young lady input the passcode. Returning to the cube, Alice obtains an audio file that she's supposed to listen to with headphones at 4 p.m. Back home, Beatrice suspects the audio is a trap, but Alice is certain that she, herself, recorded it. She thinks it would reveal the siblings' identities and how the cube works so she can fix everything. When she listens to it at precisely 4 p.m., her voice tells her to not trust Erica and Paul and to follow directions step by step. First, she must go to Adam in the piano room and notify him that David is outside. She shouldn't allow him to contact the police because it usually ends badly when he does. Alice resists the instruction at first and she's more curious about the cube. However, the voice warns her that there's not much time and that she should go without Beatrice. In the piano room, Adam apologizes to Alice for their earlier altercation. She then informs him that she saw someone outside. As her father attempts to call the police, she stops him, saying that Erica doesn't want the authorities involved for Paul's sake, and that a scare would suffice. Convinced, Adam warns her not to discuss anything with them and promises to look around. Worried, Alice reminds her father to be careful. After Adam goes outside, Alice is instructed to look for Paul, but she has to be careful since he can't figure out that she's listening to her. Seeing Paul, she offers to make him a sandwich and leads him to the kitchen. Once they're in, however, the audio instructs her to grab a knife and kill Paul, then Erica. Hearing this, Alice pushes the knife drawer closed, scared. Although it's difficult, the audio version instructs her to trust in herself. As Alice proceeds to make the sandwich, the audio tells her that the young woman has tried to stop something before, but it always ends the same way. Killing the siblings is the only thing that she hasn't attempted, and if she fails, something terrible will happen. As she struggles to open the bread bag with one hand, Paul tries to approach and help, but Alice rebuffs him. Still, when he sees her grabbing a knife, he goes to her. Watching him move closer, Alice's hand quivers. She halts against the voice's orders and Paul kisses her. Erica then shows up and demands to know what Alice is listening to after seeing that she's wearing earphones. The latter ignores her and instead offers a sandwich. Erica declines and looks for Adam. Unable to kill them, Alice claims not to know where her father is and walks away. That evening, as Alice and Adam prepare to sleep, Paul leaves the room. However, Beatrice chases him, so Erica goes to drag the dog by the collar, taking it somewhere. Then, after helping Erica take her dress off, Paul walks to the front door. He keys in the passcode and waits as a masked man enters the house. Meanwhile, Erica walks into Adam's room. Seeing her stripped, he follows her out. Unknown to Adam, the man with the ski mask appears behind him. He then slits his throat and leaves with Erica and Paul. When Alice awakens, she finds her father on the floor, dead and covered in blood. She grieves as she touches the liquid, then remembers Beatrice and looks for her. Upon seeing Beatrice's body, Alice weeps. In denial, she calls to her, but when the wolfhound is unresponsive, she screams in agony. The following day, it dawns on Alice how the audio from the cube warned her about this, so she rushes into the woods, thinking it could help her. Unlike before, it didn't respond to her touch right away. In despair, she screams that she hates it. The cube then opens, revealing a space large enough for her. As soon as she crawls in, the box closes. An unwounded Erica is with David in the woods. After kissing her, the man asks if she's ready and Erica nods. He then strikes her numerous times in the face until she collapses. He gives her another kiss before kicking her on the ground. Meanwhile, Paul is standing nearby, covering his ears to block out his sister's anguish. Then, David undresses Erica, unaware that Alice, apparently from the future, is filming them from a distance. She then leaves, knowing Adam will arrive to find the siblings in the woods. That night, in the house, future Alice hides in the bushes while the other leads her father to check outside. The next day, when the present Alice, wearing a dark blue shirt, is walking in the hallway listening to the audio, future Alice pulls out an app that connects to Beatrice's collar, making it seem like the dog is calling her back. Before the present Alice goes inside, the future Alice approaches, wearing a cloth over her head. The present Alice still recognizes her from the prosthetic arm, but she goes inside the room with Beatrice, choosing to trust her other self. The future Alice then goes to Adam in the piano room and lies that someone is outside, and Erica doesn't want him to call the police. Before Adam leaves, Alice hugs him this time. Next, she finds Paul and leads him into the kitchen. In contrast to the past, she lets Paul help her with the sandwich bag. Gaining courage, Alice grabs the knife and stabs Paul in the neck. Erica enters and laughs while sobbing as she finds her brother dead. During this, Alice freezes in place, realizing that she has murdered someone. Erica then takes the knife from her and stabs the young woman in the stomach before running away. Leaving the kitchen, future Alice attempts to put pressure on her wound, but she has already lost too much blood. Accepting her fate, she takes comfort in the fact that her other self is still alive with her father. Then she passes away with her eyes open. Seeing his daughter, Adam is horrified and struggles to go closer, unable to grasp what has happened. He hugs his daughter tightly, wanting answers to how this happened. When she doesn't respond, Adam just strokes her face. Moments later, the present Alice arrives and calls him back to his senses. After listening to the recording and seeing the video from the future Alice, Adam assures his daughter that he'll try to believe her explanation. With that, Alice tells him about the cube and how it seems to be a time machine that operates on thoughts, like her mechanical arm. Additionally, she believes Erica and Paul's appearance is coincidental and unrelated to it. Curious, Adam wants to see the object. As Adam and Alice approach the black cube in the woods, it opens and they both get in. Soon, another version of Adam carries a tray of food and is followed by a masked guy in black. Detecting the other's presence, he turns and is clubbed to death by the man. The present Alice, wearing a light shirt, follows the blood trail down the corridor. She walks into the room and finds her father's body, unaware that the killer is just behind her. After that, the killer reveals himself to Erica and Paul, and it's Adam from the future. When David enters the house later, Adam is prepared to face him. Knowing his plan has failed, the young man checks on Erica and Paul, and the older man assures him they're alright. To justify his actions, David claims that Adam killed his parents. He then shares about their lives and expresses his sorrow about not being able to hug them and only seeing them in pictures after they died in a car accident. Unbeknownst to him, the Alice from the future is slowly approaching from behind before she stabs him in the head with a knife. As David dies, she sits beside him and lovingly describes Adam and Beatrice and their lives. Alice then tells the future Adam that they need to go back and prevent everything that has happened. He refuses at first, but she points out that they can't leave Erica and Paul in their room forever. In the morning, the young woman rushes to the black metal cube and thinks back to how she learned to hold the cylinders with her prosthetic arm. Adam told her to concentrate because she needed to go back in time for longer than usual. As Alice managed to grab the thinnest third cylinder, Adam told her that when she returned, exactly 7 months and 12 days from their present, she needed to open his desk drawer, take out the car keys, and throw them away. This will prevent Adam from getting into that fateful car accident that killed his wife and David's parents, and maimed his daughter. Motivated to fix everything, Alice climbs into the cube again.
Subscribe to watch more videos like this. Turn on notifications. And leave a like, it really helps the channel out. Thank you for watching.